Okay. So, we begin our scene by seeing a beautiful sunrise on the horizon start to lift up as golden streaks of light start to pierce through the fog that covers the ground. And as one by one these different buildings and rooftops start to poke up through the haze, catching the light and casting long shadows, we see a floating structure maneuvering its way through the low clouds. A blimp is slowly making its approach on Elantra. Elantra being the highest point of a mountain situated structure that is amongst the most wealthy regarding the town of Rugton, mostly inhabited by elves and other affluent races. The blimp being one of the most technological marvels of this age, is slowly carrying a few travelers. There is a few small groups of students making their way on vacation. There is a few happy couples. There is also a small group of scientists making their way as well. But in particular, there is one specific duo. There is a Mr. Hold on, let me pull up my notes. A Mr. Coral Stanton. Coral Stanton is a man of mystery. He stands about 6 feet 3 inches tall, with very tan skin, skin that seems almost stretched with age. Seems to have elven proportions, long limbs, very thin and whatnot. But his skin is very toned and tan, which is not typical for elves as well. He seems like a tall human, but his racial features are hidden as he always wears a mask to hide his face. He outfits his mask in different faces and phases to sort of circumvent different aspects that he wishes to portray with the coming events and times. It's more of a physical exercise that he likes to practice, so to speak, in order to maintain his emotional health. Today, the mask is very sullen. The mouth is almost a straight line, as are the eyes, as the figure is simply almost disgruntled or thoughtful. And standing beside him is a figure. How would you describe yourself, everybody?
Well, right now I describe myself as a middle-aged man with a bit of a farmer's tan, really soft face, kind of a kindly-looking person who asks directions from the small town. Gonna be really general with some descriptions because I am a changeling, so.
Right. As Dr. Coral Stanton is standing looking out the window, one foot slightly to the side, arms crossed with one hand gently resting his chin, he, without turning, simply says, "What is it that you see, everybody?" As he looks out the window.
Just, this little town on the prairie. Chuckles at this.
Indeed. But Even the smallest towns and cities seem to bear the biggest fruit, don't you suppose? I do appreciate you coming along on this journey with me and helping me with this endeavor. I do know that you are very interested in the work that I do. I get called all over the world and even sometimes on very special visits to different planes of existence. And as you are in search and pursuit of your own ideals, I myself am also curious and interested. Without being too winded, he does turn slightly to you. I myself am feeling quite wistful today, as I am presenting myself with this mask for my face. And this is how I will be today. But you, my friend, someone that also wears masks, why is it that you are presenting yourself like this today?
Well, I do believe it's important to make good first impressions, especially with a new face. Imagine all the juicy secrets told to me in confidence.
Is this everybody's first time coming to Rugton, or have you been here before?
I'd say he's been here before, but a very long time ago.
Okay.
He's probably not gonna use any old faces. He's probably gonna have to start from scratch, you know?
What Dr. Coral does is he is very much a specialist in all of the fields of medicinal expertise, and he is in pursuit of curing every sort of disease and illness. And he himself is in perfect physical shape and tends to deal with things the very straightforward method. He simply carries like this small satchel, the way that you would call sort of like a vet in to sort of work on your farm animals sort of situation. He doesn't even put gloves on. He just gets right in there down and dirty, but he seems to, keep himself quite physically fit and healthy, just using simple contraptions to clean himself with water and antiseptics every now and then. He is an alchemist by trade. He has many doctorates, but primarily he is very intrigued and really is only called upon when he is offered a challenge, which is what you both were just doing. Is that there was actually a unicorn that was dying that he was called in to assist in, and though he has never seen a unicorn before, as I'm sure you as well, he was in fact able to help cure the unicorn. And as he turns to you, he says, "In payment for helping me along on this journey, I do know that this is not your typical line of work, but I do appreciate a friendly face making these journeys." He hands you a vial of unicorn blood. Go ahead and add that to your character sheet.
Right. Nice.
You have a fairly decent history with Mr. Coriel. He's one of the few people that has actually been able to see through your disguise, despite that being a changeling, a person whose actual genetic makeup changes at will, being male, female, or whatever sort of race that you want. He's one of the few people that has actually been able to see through that, and has been slowly but surely helping you understand and realize your own sort of not only physical health, but also mental and emotional health. And he's always been very business orientated, but there's also, a bit of informality that happens with your sort of meetings. So, yeah, that's sort of the situation here. Do you have any sort of prevalent questions or comments at the moment?
Uh, yeah, like, do I already have a building, or am I supposed to, like, buy it with money, or...
I mean, again, I think, as you stated, this is your first time coming back to Rugton, so you are coming as, I think, as you want, a first-time visitor. This is you're basically coming in as a, tourist, so to speak. He does have his own building and workplace here, that he will most assuredly be in touch with you to work more together. Just because, having a person that can change their shape into anything is quite a useful skill to have. So, he also knows your desire to your search, as he has also shared with you his dream and desire to search for, or his desire to simply cure every sort of disease. I forgot to describe the most defining trait of this character is that they have a long head of pure white hair that goes all the way down to their knees, and then at the very end has like a small little bow that ties it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Takes care of his scalp. Nice.
Mm-hmm. You get the idea that this person is either like some sort of fae, or maybe a mortal that's just like perfected the art of like keeping themselves like eternally healthy, so that time does not help. This person seems old, aged, definitely older than any human would be, but it doesn't really seem to fit any other specific race that you can really think of off the top of your head. But yeah, if you want to roll any like history or insight on this character or anything else, I guess now would be the moment before you all are making your way to Rugton.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Where is... Oh, shoot. It's with this that we watch as one of these figures stands up from her sitting position and excuses herself and walks past you towards the back. And there's sort of like this open balcony kind of thing, similar to like a caboose. I mean, everyone knows what a blimp is, right? And sort of like the whole situation there with the passenger situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe so.
You watch as she glides past all of you, moving with barely a bob, with this long, it looks like a sundress, but there's multiple layers to it that are see-through, that sparkle with different light as she moves. It's this sort of almost yellowish cream color, while the different layers on top of it add another layer to the rainbow, and match the perfect hue of her wings that are actually in two shapes, sort of like a butterfly's set of wings, but far more pointed, like that of a fairy. Her wings have this sort of lavender and sort of accented with turquoise spots, and she has this bountiful head of platinum blonde hair, as she pulls out a pocket mirror and checks her makeup before addressing a small indicator and says, "Ah, good." Then we turn our attention towards the interior of a very luxurious building. I will allow Viper to describe the interior of the Belladonna.
Okay. So, the building itself is high ceilinged, the main lounge area, and the color scheme and the overall like decor of everything changes every day due to glamour effects. So, but the general construct is you walk into through the big doors, and then there's a bar off to the far right or far left, sorry, kind of corner area. There's kind of a bar, more dining situation, and then as you pan to the right towards that side of the building, there is a stage and seating arrangements for more of live music, entertainment, theater, whatever kind of situation happens that day. All the corners and the columns and every kind of tall post is covered in vines and riddled with all kinds of different flowers that some are maybe native to the area and others are not. Again, and it changes with the scheme or how she feels that day. Setting her glamour charms everywhere. Yeah, I don't know how much else more to describe, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I guess I could say currently it is.
Yeah. Where are you right now, and what are you doing?
I think she's just kind of doing her rounds that she does, every few hours, just to make sure things are kind of to her liking, or if she feels like sometimes she just feels like changing the flowers or anything like that on a whim. But so yeah, she's probably towards the bar area, maybe getting herself a drink or something. The color scheme is the floors are black marble and gold trimmings. And the furniture is kind of matching that with kind of off-white fabrics, and it's like not even gold painted wood. It just looks like the wood is made out of gold.
That's awesome.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
And flying through either an open door or window is this beautiful bird that almost matches the golden color of the rising sun that flutters over to you. And as it sort of soars in and lands in front of you, watch as its two big wings actually flap down. You realize that it has 4 wings, and it also has 2 sets of tail sets. And then it comes in. You can tell that this is a very majestic bird, very regal in its appearance, which makes you believe that it's probably being rented out by someone from Elantra, but it does place down in front of you a small sending stone that is also looking like it's high quality. This is a messenger bird.
I'm going to pull, almost out of thin air, but really she just has kind of a side pocket of bird seed.
It's like the size of a duck. Yeah, it's not huge.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just pull out some bird seed to give the bird as a thank you, and gently kind of try to pat its head.
Okay. It coos and just kind of sits there and waits for you to accept the parcel.
I will, yeah, pick up the sending stone.
Okay. It activates, and appearing in your hand is a small image of a person that you recognize using I forget the spell, but it's an illusion. And you recognize a friendly face. It is Marlene Moore, a friend that you have that is also Fae. Back when Rugton was first starting in its industrialization, she does hang out in more of the Elantra district. She is an actress, a singer, a dancer, and made her first big break here. Rugton has always been home to her, but she very much enjoys going on trips and seeing the world. But you understand that the fact that she is calling you lets you know that she is on her way home. And as soon as you answer, she says, "Darling, it's been so long."
Sorry, that threw me off.
I'm sorry, did I take you by surprise?
Darling. Sorry.
Do you wanna roll a history check to see how well acquainted you are to her?
What was her name again?
Marlene Moore.
Marlene Moore. Very Marilyn Monroe.
All right. You
Is
know,
that the
I tried
inspiration?
very hard to not specifically be blatant about it, but
Is that actually? Oh my god, that's funny though.
yes,
Clever. I like it.
she
I like
absolutely looks like Marilyn Monroe, but with
Somebody I would
very
definitely be friends
long, bountiful hair.
And you said to do a history check?
Yes, and you have advantage because you know this person.
Okay. Ooh, good thing for that advantage, because that was not a very good roll. Better. Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you know this person quite well. You've been in Rugton for longer than she has. Again, when the elves sort of came in with their industrialization and started building casinos and resorts and whatnot, that's when she came here. Again, very Vegas vibes. You know, she got her big break here. She's one of the first stars. She is Fae, and she is fairy. She is related to Titania, the queen of the fairies, but not by blood. She's married, related. She likes to she doesn't like living life slow. She wants to keep moving, keep distracting herself, keep doing the next biggest thing. She's a little annoying, but only because you guys live on opposite ends of the spectrum of how you perceive life and wealth and, you know, prosperity. Where she's always about, like, you know, not letting anything hold her down, in kind of almost the sad way that you wish that you could kind of help her get over. But she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to get tied to anything or anyone. She just wants to keep going places. But one thing that she does like to do is continuously come back to Rugton, because it is one of the only things that she does have a connection to, and you're very partial to that, to helping her maintain that. But yeah, she's kind of annoying, so you assume that with her call that she's on her way here. She wants to meet up with you, maybe go to a ball or something. And she's like, "It's been so long. You probably haven't been invited to a proper ball in such a long time. Why didn't you come up to Elantra sometime? I promise you, it's lovely."
Am I able to respond through the stone?
And everybody, if you want to eavesdrop on this conversation, you can see that Marlene has another one of these communicators, but she is out on the balcony. Or do you want to give her privacy? I was just letting you know that you could eavesdrop on this conversation if you wanted to.
I'm gonna order a drink.
On the blimp?
Is that possible?
There'd be a mini bar on the blimp, right?
Yeah, there'd probably be a mini bar. Sure. All right, you get yourself a drink. All right.
It is owned by rich people.
Sure.
That is true.
That is a very fair point. Yeah, Viper, how do you respond to your good and one of your only Fae friends calling you?
I've been debating on what accent to give Viper.
Well, you better decide quick.
I know.
I mean, you can always adjust it later.
Yeah. I just I don't know if I want to do it. I'm embarrassed.
Just go for it.
Do it, no balls.
Marlene, darling. So wonderful to hear from you. Yes, it would be lovely to catch up soon. Wonderful to see that you're back in town. Probably we'll be busy with business and
Oh, you're always busy. You need to learn to lighten up and, be a rule breaker sometimes and get out there, see the sights. You really should see Rugton from up here in Alancia. I promise you would love to see the city lights dinkling in the nighttime light. Have you ever gone flying?
No, darling, we have discussed this. I am not a flyer, Faye. I don't have wings.
I don't use my wings anyhow, but if you use the blimp, there are other flying contraptions. These really pesky individuals always coming up and tampering and your little toys, tinkering and things. Really is quite something.
Yes, I will be in contact now that I know that you are here, and
Oh yes,
we will
indeed. Before
we will
I
schedule
forget, there is this very particular bit of gossip that I absolutely must tell you. When I see you in person,
if you wish to come by the Belladonna anytime, I should be here. Or we can schedule a time to meet up for lunch elsewhere.
it's a date then. I will be here by mid-afternoon perhaps, and I will come right down there and scoop you up, and we are going somewhere. No buts, you must.
Oh, wonderful. You know how I enjoy our adventures.
Roll a deception check.
She's just like her hands are just like, that nerve or that like really aggravated rubbing of the hands is she's just doing that. Deception. Oh,
Yes.
I'm really deceptive. Shit. Oh my god, it was a nat 20 plus 7.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you just got saved.
She is none the wiser.
Ah, what a dote. No, she doesn't say that, but
She's not an airhead.
I know, but she's
She's not the most, considerate.
she's charming in her own way. She just has a lot to learn about life.
Well, she has her own perspective on things and sometimes forces that on
for
other
sure.
people.
I love it. Yes, we will, this afternoon? So soon?
Why, yes, I'm just arriving here in Rugton and I'll be here very shortly. I'm coming to get you.
Okay. Well, I will see you soon then, and I will, have to have somebody help me pick out a dress, so I have to go.
Absolutely. Get yourself ready and I'll be right there.
Alrighty. We'll see you soon.
Okay, and then the illusion fades and you hand the little trinket back to the bird and the bird flies off and you have a moment to breathe.
She's just like she just takes this
It's the most stressful
glass of
start to
wine.
your day that you've had in a while.
She had this like kind of glass of wine, and it's like got the little bit in it, you know. She just quickly downs that, and she smacks it, or she puts it back on the counter and looks at the bartender.
I thought you were gonna like pour yourself a glass and then just grab the bottle.
Well, let me finish. She's gonna put the glass down, indicating that she would like more wine. And then as soon as he goes to pour it, she's gonna take the wine bottle. Yeah, that's exactly what she was gonna do.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, like, what if she just starts drinking and be like, nope, keep adding it, keep adding it, keep adding it, keep adding it.
And she gets like a really long, like bamboo straw and just puts it in the wine bottle. Just takes off.
The person working behind the behind the bar like makes like a they get like they're like, do you want a lime? Okay. And then they like get one of those tiny little umbrellas and just sticks it in your glass, like smiles and just like lets you be by yourself.
No, she takes the wine bottle and she goes, and she's just like, thank you. I'm off now.
Okay. Let's
Is
see.
this place normally open?
Yeah. What's Xanathar doing? What's that situation like? Tell us about that.
I assume I just passively exist in the can unless the building's closed, which then I do the security. Keep people from breaking in the middle of the night.
It is currently daybreak. You starting to get up, make your rounds? Yeah, that's a good question. When does Xanathar sleep? Does he need sleep?
I assume that Xanathar just gets woken up from his sleep in the middle of the day. By the bell that calls him.
Oh yeah, there's like a bell, like.
Well, I'm pretty sure the
system.
Belladonna is open 24/7, isn't it?
No, it's
I would
like,
assume a building like this would close.
the social space of it, like the bar and the dining and the live theater stuff is that closes.
So you have
at,
sections
like,
that like eventually like
Yeah.
close down, and then you keep like funneling
It's-
people back out.
It's also kind of a half lounge, half inn. So the inn part is open 24/7.
Right. Okay.
But the social event spaces and whatnot, the communal areas they close down at like midnight to 1 a.m. ish of kind of times, depending on if there's an event or something. So.
Okay. I'm trying to decide. I guess I'll ask who wants to go next. No takers? All right, cool.
I'm down for whatever.
Down for whatever.
Down for
Gotta
what?
do the job.
I'm saying that I'll do it. I'll go next.
Okay.
Unless you want me to wait.
No. I just need to look at your character sheet real quick. Because I don't remember the names of your dudes.
Want me to text them to you?
It'll give me like, I just need 2 seconds to look at it.
I love that the first roll of this campaign was a nat 20 for
All
Valentina.
downhill.
With
It's
advantage.
And it's all
here.
downhill
It's a
from you.
sign.
You turned her into an
Definitely a
airhead.
sign.
As it was with advantage, but still.
Mhm. Let's see. Okay.
And as a question, DM, are you gonna be role playing as my dudes?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think that's Sparrow's like favorite part about this campaign is he gets to play all these cool characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill Benji.
Okay. Our view shifts to a different set of the city. As the sun rises, there's a small but still thick layer of fog that coats the city streets. And as the sun starts to shine down, the streets are almost blanketed in this white fog that makes it impossible to see 10 feet ahead. And it is this exact situation that causes someone running to stumble. Renji, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
First thing you get to do, have a dex save. Have fun.
14.
Okay. You trip over something, and you don't even have a second to look back and respond, and then you stumble and turn sideways and bash into a little trash can, and it clatters, and you send it scuttling across the floor, but you manage to catch yourself, keep stumbling. The figure is chasing after you.
Can I try to handspring to catch myself?
Oh, no, you keep running, but you caught something, and so the people behind you that are chasing after you heard that and are slowly catching up on your trail. You are currently in possession of an item that you were tasked with delivering properly. It was stolen, and so you recovered it, and now you are returning to its proper owner, but the people chasing after you don't see it that way. What are you doing?
Okay. So, let's see, but
Yeah, the trash can scuttle.
Okay, nice to know that the trash cans normally take themselves out.
can I cast darkness? Try to like cloak myself.
Okay, yeah. You cast darkness. You just cast it on yourself running through the streets?
Yes.
Okay. You instantly can't see anything anymore, but also neither can the people behind you.
I have dark vision.
This is magical darkness.
Oh, okay. Fair
Did
enough.
you not read your own dark?
Calm down. You slide to a stop, and as the figures start to come out of the fog, you quickly cast this shadow that envelops the space, and you hear one of the voices go, "Oh, what? What's all this then?" And you stand there and wait, realizing that they are just as blind as you are. And they start to tiptoe throughout the space. You can ever so slightly hear their boots clacking against the stone as they continue to search for you. Can't be far. He has to maintain concentration on this spell. He's probably hiding here in the darkness with us. Watch yourself. What do you do?
Okay. I wanna feel for a wall behind me. Is any? Because I know I tripped over a trash can and I'm still running. I want to try to get up against the wall as close as possible and see if they pass by me.
Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, with advantage, I have a +11. Let's go.
Nice.
Just be careful.
25.
The concentration.
Okay. You positioned perfectly. You had your back against the wall. You had this all mapped out. And as they begin to come closer, you can tell exactly where you are, and you begin to dance around them as you maintain avoiding them. What's your plan now?
Okay, I'm gonna try to tiptoe back the way I came from, try not to hit the trash can.
Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
6.
A what?
6.
I also rolled a 6. I think that means that... Oh, wait, I forgot to add my bonus to that. Or do I have a negative modifier? I have a +1. Okay. As you are carefully maneuvering through the space that you have laid out in your mind, because you positioned yourself right in the perfect spot. At last moment, you realize that you're just about to bump into someone, and you go, "Hey, I think this," and someone starts to reach for you, and you just move out of their way, but you scratch your foot against the ground, and they say, "He's right here."
Okay. Is there a way that I can so I want to stop doing darkness, or
Yeah, you can just drop concentration.
okay, I want to drop concentration, and I want to try to Misty Step 30 feet ahead.
Okay. Do you have to see your destination with Misty
Yes.
Step? I don't remember.
Yeah,
that's
I had to
why
see
you
it.
closed
That's why I'm stopping darkness.
Go ahead and make a perception check, just because it is foggy.
Would it be with disadvantage, or...
unless you wanted to go up onto a rooftop.
Yeah. Okay. I want to Misty Step onto a rooftop.
Okay. You Misty Step onto a rooftop, and you look down at the small group of dwarves that were chasing after you, and one of them instantly turns and points and says, "There he is! After him!"
Okay. I'm just gonna start jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
All right, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check, or athletics if you would prefer.
Bad. Is it just a flat acrobatics?
Yep. I mean, unless you have proficiency.
It's a 6.
Okay. Go ahead and take an adversity token. These are things that I will hand out to people when they suffer a terrible circumstance. And basically how you can use adversity tokens is that whenever you want to make a roll, a check, a save, or whatever, and you think that you're so close to succeeding, you can go ahead and use an adversity token to give yourself just a little bit extra boost. But because of what happens, you trip and fall. You leap from rooftop to rooftop, but then you manage to catch yourself on one of these guard railings or fire escapes that just comes loose at the last second, and it creaks and bends over with your added weight and falls clattering to the ground. You do take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and the figures are slowly starting to they're almost upon you. They haven't quite reached you yet. And then those figures, as you're climbing to your feet, scuttle to a stop as a shadow looms behind you. And the dwarves look at in terror. And one of the smaller ones sputters, "Boss!" As Renji turns around, what does he see?
He sees a 5'9" size, above average size dwarf with dark charcoal-like skin, it's almost charcoal, but like with a little tint of purple, with a red beard, searing eye patch, wearing plate mail of armor, and having a hammer in one hand, a cigar in the other, a shield on its back, just kind of standing over, kind of taking the hit off the cigar. Well. Looks like we caught ourselves a rat, boys. No, we don't like rats here, do we?
And Renji, please describe your character and what he looks like.
Okay. So you're standing in front of I'm 6 foot, light purple skin. My left eye is red. My right eye is kind of white. I have a scar against my right eye. And that's really it. Jet black hair. I have a little gray streak down the middle. And I'm just standing and looking at you. So, at this point, can I call my dog?
Yeah, you may.
Cause okay, so the dog I picked was a blink dog. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah,
It blinks right beside you.
I'm gonna.
What?
I wanna. Wait, hold on. I gotta see how long it to recharge it for. Cause I wanna give him the artifact and just have him either run or blink away. But I don't know if
Okay.
it can blink again after blinking already.
I'd almost like to roll initiative at this point.
This sounds like a combat.
Well, doing actions that require time critical sort of need initiative. So, Sergio and Renji, I would like you to both roll initiative.
Oh, that was nearly a nat 20. That was a 4.
I got a 4. You also got a 4.
You're both just glaring at each other for a while, and it kind of lingers in the air for a moment, and then like Sergio, one of your boys coughs like.
Do we really got to do this?
Sergio,
Ben.
did you take a look at the map that's in game stuff?
Let's see. I'm not looking at it.
Okay. Just something real quick. I think where your territory is in the territory of Nunts, which is what is considered true Rugton before everything started spreading out and the rest of the town started building. Currently, this person was running away from Barabel, which is another territory that you don't control. But since he's come into your territory, this is your business. And he seemed to be making his way running towards Mora, which is near the base of the mountain, heading up towards the elves.
So it's not something he stole from me.
No, but it is something that he stole from one of the dwarven territories.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to make a coin. This is stolen from somebody. I'm just bringing it back.
Mm.
I ain't looking for a fight. That trash can fucked me up.
Is that what you think, boys? He ain't looking for a fight, huh?
Yeah. What say we ice him? Like, wait, come on, Vinny. It's not like that. Sorry, boss. Like, I know he's young and he's like very impressionable and he gets like the wrong idea of like what we do here. He's looking to do a good job, and so yeah.
It's fine. He's a young blood, aren't we all at one point? Now you're gonna tell me why that you took that from a dwarven? Took it from one of my former dwarven families.
It was stolen from a client of mine.
Oh, was it now? What was this client's?
Do you start revealing information, Renji?
No,
Okay.
I can't reveal my client. No, you're a businessman. You know how it goes.
An intimidation check?
I mean, it's between player and player, so you guys decide.
Natural 1?
Wait, then can I do an intimidation check? Or a save?
I mean, what
Can you intimidate me?
you wouldn't make a save. Basically, if you guys ever feel like you aren't capable of role playing it properly, then you can do a check. Otherwise, mostly what's going to happen is, you guys are just role playing situations like this out. But Renji, you are currently surrounded. You said you wanted to try and summon your dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
You
my dog.
go ahead and summon, and Sergio, you watch as Renji whistles really loudly, and then beside him, you watch as the air bends ever so slightly, and then a dog materializes beside him and starts barking.
Now, buddy. You're not here to fight.
Alright. Hey, Sergio's gonna point a hammer up under. Like, how close is he to Sergio?
I think you decide that. How close are you to him?
I want to be like, I guessing like Sergio walks up to him like right up to where his legs are, at this point, and Sergio has a hammer pointed under his chin.
Whose chin? Mine or the dogs?
Yours.
Oh, okay. If it was the dogs, then yeah, it's fighting time.
No.
No. Everyone knows better than to threaten another man's dog.
Is there any chance that I can try to flip the item out of my pocket and put it in my mouth? Run.
Yeah. The item is it's a pin. It's like the size of a small pin. You can fit it in the palm of your hand.
Okay.
What are you attempting to do to it? You want to put it in your mouth?
No, the dog's mouth. Like have him hold it and run.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Sergio, what are you doing as you watch as Renji starts to...
As soon as he puts it into the dog's mouth, can I have a reaction?
Yes.
I'm gonna use Stone Rune to use my Stone Rune to cause a charmed effect where the dog is incapacitated and its speed is 0.
Okay. What's the saving throw on that?
DC is 17, Wisdom save.
Okay. Let me just look at the Blink Dog statistics.
Wouldn't sleight of hand allow it to him not to get a reaction?
Well, first and foremost, what did you get for the sleight of hand for passing it to the dog?
I got a 23.
Okay, yeah, you instantly slide it into the dog's mouth, but then Sergio attempts to intimidate the dog, basically.
Well, no, I was using my Stone Rune ability.
I rolled a natural 1.
So yeah, that dog is unable to move. Its speed is 0 and is incapacitated. Basically, in a dreaming super, it can repeat the saving throw on each of its turns.
Okay. Yeah, Renji, as you pass the thing to the dog kind of looks at you curiously, and then just freezes in place.
Do I see him now holding the thing up to the dog's mouth?
I mean, yeah, you can see this. You can see that there is a wrapped kind of cloth parchment in the dog's mouth.
I'm gonna tell my boys, hold him down, boys.
And the dwarves start to come up behind you, Renji.
Okay. Is there a way that I can attempt to jump over
Jump over Sergio?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, with a proper acrobatics check.
So dead. Oh, nat 20. So 23?
Okay. You do a flip over Sergio as he is just a little bit shorter than you, and you are on the other side, Sergio. As you swing around, you have an attack of opportunity as he leaves, but the dog is still there, stunned and unable to move.
With the item.
The item, because he passed it off.
Minibear, grab the item. And then
On
after
a
I told
boss.
him,
And he reaches up and grapples the dog.
not the dog, the item.
Trevor grabs the dog, and then one of your other guys comes and pulls the item out of the dog's mouth.
And I tell him, all right, let the pooch down.
Okay. They release the pooch.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And then this is the point where Sergio's gonna crack his neck, and as he's cracking his neck, his size is gonna slowly grow. And cracks the other side of his neck, it grows a little bit more. He kind of just moves his shoulder, it goes a little bit taller and a little taller until he's about 12. He's about 11'8".
This sounds like the beginning of a boss fight.
It's at this point that the dog apparates beside you again, Sergio, and kind of starts backing up slowly and whimpering.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. You can keep it. I'm just gonna look up at him. Yeah, you can keep it.
I grab him by the collar.
Make a grapple check.
Do I get advantage considering I have advantage on strength checks and saving throws? Or is that only on specifically strength checks?
Yeah, that's what a grapple check is. You make a strength check, and he makes a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And you would have advantage on this because it's a strength check.
Are you sure you didn't get it backwards?
Another nat 20.
Jeez. You've got a hot
I-
hand, man. What the heck?
I kind of do.
Yeah, you kind of
This
do.
session's got a lot of
Highest is a
crits.
20. The highest would be a 20 unless it was athletics. Unless you had me roll athletics, in which case it would have been higher.
No, I believe it's a strength check. I know grapple checks.
I know one half has strength and athletics, though.
That
Or the
is
one
what
is just strength.
that is what I said. When the attacker attempts to grapple, they make the strength check, and the defender makes a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
That is what I said. So you go to grab his collar, and Renji just like shifts off to the side, a little bit too dexterous for you. I like to imagine that you're like slightly slower now because you're like almost a behemoth,
I really am.
like Ant-Man.
Get the fuck out of my city. I best not be catching you trying to steal things around here again. You hear?
I'm gonna start walking away. But as I'm walking away, I'm just gonna yell, "I'll be back."
At this point, can Sergio grab something and chuck it at him?
Oh yeah, go for it.
To be
Grab
fair.
yours.
Yeah, that's a
Is there like a
strength check.
barrel or something I could just chuck at him?
Yeah, you can reach, grab like you could either grab like a signpost or a trash can.
I grab like a trash can, I just chuck it right at him.
Okay. That's a strength check, I believe, for ranged attack rolls.
I get advantage.
You do.
First
To
one's
be
a
fair,
21.
Sergio
take
did
a
just
21.
almost John Wick the hell out of this
What
man.
would I have? What would I have to roll in order to like?
This
be able
is
to-
just against your AC.
That's a 21 to hit.
13. My AC.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's gonna be 10 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Renji, as a trash can just wham into you, and just kind of gives you a little bit of a push as you're running away.
So doesn't change anything. I'll still be back.
Oh wait,
Wait,
do
does-
I get to add a D8 because of giant might?
Oh yeah, you do.
You might.
That's only,
You
that's,
thought.
that's only one
you
more.
thought.
That's only one
Oh.
more damage.
Okay, that's
Damn
just
it.
one more point of damage.
Never mind, you were correct.
And
Yeah.
Doesn't
Renji,
change anything. I'll be back.
Renji, beaten and bruised, not only physically but in his ego, manages to escape into the mist of the city streets as Sergio is left with his disappointing men. Oh, sorry about that, boss. Didn't mean to busy you on your morning stroll.
What do you have?
Do you want them to unwrap it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he unwraps it, and what is inside of it is a silver pin of a hummingbird that almost seems to be swooping in to attack.
Do I recognize it as any sort of clan symbol or anything?
It is. It is a clan symbol from one of your other dwarven families. Actually, make a history check.
History check.
Oh.
God damn that, I'm rolling low tonight. Do I get advantage since it's dwarven?
I will allow it, but the DC will be slightly lower.
Well, that doesn't help. That's 11 at best.
Okay. I will say this. You do know that this specifically, for as long as you can remember, belonged on a certain someone's mantle. And it is someone that is also one of the bosses of, and this is the boss of the Barabble section of town. which leads you to believe that it belongs to him.
Okay. Beard, I need you to get a word out.
Yes, sir.
Call out to one of Rapple's boys. Tell him I got one of his pendants. See if he wants it back.
Yes, sir.
Also, tell him to deal with his own fucking rats and keep them out of my turf. And that's the point where Sergio's gonna fucking kind of slowly shrink down. Fucking relight a cigar. Benny smokes. Come on, light.
Yeah, they all produce lights for you.
Fucking rats in my fucking town.
It's at this point that you hear a window slide open and you hear a voice. Sergio, is that you and your boys out there?
Aye.
You better not be roughing up any of those random tourists coming through again. This used to be a fine neighborhood.
Yeah, it used to be a fine neighborhood, and I'm trying to keep it that way.
All right, all right.
Go get your panties in a twist. I got it. I'm kicking the rats out. Doing a little spring cleaning.
Do you really need to be making such a racket so early in the morning, though?
Oh, you know them rats. They like to squeak.
Go and make a persuasion check. This is just a general check to try and appease
25.
the townsfolk. Okay, yeah. You
have a
manage
plus
to
1 to
assuage as people are like starting to come out of their homes. You diffuse the situation and set everyone back to their daily routine.
It's alright, everybody. It's just something to settle. Don't you be worried. Go on your merry way, alright?
Are you secretly cheating? You've been rolling very high a lot.
And he's been rolling on D20. I can watch.
Well, I just rolled 2 nat 20s. What do you mean? He's
Yeah.
been rolling high. I rolled 2 nat 20s in a row.
The dice gods are just on their side today.
Fair enough. I cannot change how they act.
Alright, boys, let's go. Best not to keep her waiting.
Where is Renji going?
Well, since I didn't get the item out, boy, and I'm pretty fucking hurt now. I would think Renji's going home, try to mend his wounds, and take a little bit of a rest. Picked up all my spells already.
Yeah, you can make your way back to your hideout and rest up with nothing to show for his work. Unable to go and receive his payment, cannot show up without anything. You do know that you still have time to complete your objective, as long as you complete it before sundown. There will be no questions asked.
What time did you said it's like
It's
time?
It's sunrise currently.
So I would have time to go home to rest.
Yes,
and
you
then
have like 20
Saturday
hours.
night. Okay. So yeah, Renji's gonna go home. He's gonna go into a trance to do like a long rest. I think it's 8 hours. If I read correctly. And then yeah, I'm going right back. I'm going right back in.
Okay. So you're gonna take 8 hours rest?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Most people work during the night, so some people sleep during the day. It's only fair.
I better at night time anyway.
Let's see.
So, can I just click long rest or?
Hold off for now. Let's see how everything else progresses, just in case. But you should be fine. But let's hold off.
You never know when you might get interrupted and lose your long rest.
Right.
I am on my way.
Yeah, that's also true. You're on your way there, so just in case there's some more roleplay before that happens, we'll
Fucking
see.
Benji comes out. And
Let's go ahead and take a bathroom break real quick. Give me a minute to figure out what I want to do next.
Yeah, eventually I'll get to do my job. Eventually, someone's gonna do something stupid, and I get to do something.
I'm coming back. Don't worry.
Hey, I'm back.
That trash can just did a lot of fucking damage. Wasn't expecting it.
That wasn't even full damage.
That trash can was sure beefy.
But that trash can fucked me up.
Do you not have any armor?
He
I
has
I
armor,
do.
but it's not good. By the
It's
sounds
light
of it.
on me.
Are
Light
you
armor?
wearing normal leather or studded?
No, it's just a cloak. That's my army.
Oh my god. That's
Oh,
why your
he
He
AC
just has
is
a,
so
he just
fucking
has a
low.
13 armor class.
Yeah, cloaks aren't armor.
Put on armor, dingus.
I mean, even if he did, I did roll a 21.
That's fair, but his AC would be higher if he put armor on.
You'd be less easy to completely obliterate.
Yeah.
Oh, it only
Especially
if I put on my
a lot
light
of-
armor, it'll only be a 14. So
Then put on studded leather.
I only have.
His studded leather got singed in a fire, so
get
he needs
better
to get it
things.
repaired.
Yeah, go order a new set of studded leather. That's what it sounds like.
Nobody told me I was going against a 12-foot fucking dwarf.
Hey,
To
it's
be
a
fair,
level
no one
20.
expects a dwarf to be 12 foot.
Yeah, that
gotta-
is true.
I gotta have a copper who.
At least 12 foot, to your knowledge.
You just single-handedly created the John Wick of this universe, so I hope you.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this.
Let's see.
You have to wait for something to happen at my job.
Yes.
Sergio kicks down the door. Honestly, I thought you were gonna you were gonna ask me like where Sergio would what's Sergio doing right now, and the first thing that came to mind was that like Sergio's goons are asking Sergio to go on patrol with them, and he just fucking kicks down a freaking what are those bathrooms called? Fucking outhouse door, and it just like freaking Smash Bros starts playing. Somebody once told me the world.
FBI, open up!
Bloody hell.
Do the shit.
Oh my god, stop.
No,
Wait,
I have a way of introducing all the members of the party together.
But yeah, I didn't know. I thought dark vision would still work. Said that it worked for darkness.
You need
Not
a
with
special
magical
type of dark
darkness, yeah.
vision that
Yeah.
allows it.
I think there's either like some very special races that give you, or you have to get like a special class feature that lets you see in magical darkness. Anywho.
For,
It's a class page. There's certain classes that give it, and
Okay.
there's also a feat that you can get with the Eldritch Adept that lets you get Devil Sight, which gives you magical darkness.
Or you could just be a
sorry.
warlock and
I
get
have-
devil side anyway.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know what I have is superior dark vision.
What does it say in the thing?
Oh,
If it works in magical darkness, it'll tell you.
do you have spirit darkness?
I have superior dark vision.
Oh,
That-
oops.
That might
Oh
just
well.
mean you might have more range.
Oh well, now we gotta start the whole roleplay scene again. And
No, I'll just remember it time. That's gonna happen again.
This time
Okay.
I'll hit harder with the trash can.
You also have keen senses.
Kill him with a trash
Oh yeah,
can.
you have superior darkness. You can see in darkness. Yeah.
But does it say, hey, magical darkness?
in regular yeah.
He has
darkness.
drow, dark elf, superior dark vision of 120
Oh.
feet. I think
No,
normal
you
dark
can see
vision
him.
is just 60 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a fucking dark vision at 120 feet, but I don't have magic dark vision.
Yeah, I don't think it's magic dark vision that you have. You can see it's normal darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
standard dark vision's just 60 feet.
It will specify dark vision including magical darkness. But
Dark vision. You can see in the dark.
yeah, unfortunately, if you look at the spell darkness, it will say yeah.
Anyway.
Also, color does not work with dark vision.
Right. You can see in shades of gray. It's like a
You
black and white
Sergio,
movie.
Sergio diffusing a bomb in the dark. I can't see the red fucking wire.
Cut the red one, which is
Section
the red.
4.
Fucking red one.
It's the
Which
one that's
one's
not the white one.
No shit, Sherlock. I can't fucking see in here. Why don't you only let me see some white?
They're all gray.
You know what? Fuck this. He chucks the bomb outside.
I thought you were gonna say that you just cut them all or you eat it.
I just fucking yeah. I just swallow it. I go to giant size. I just swallow it. It turns
Just
into that
swallow
scene
it
with
and
Jake the
become
dog where
giant.
he just swallows it and it goes.
Okay,
That
have
actually
we had
reminds me
our bathroom break?
Yeah. I assume everyone's back from the bathroom break.
Yeah.
He has to go to the bathroom quite often.
There's just this great scene of this bomb defusal that was in this movie where this guy comes up and he puts his mouth on like the gas canister and blows on it, and it blows out the fuse on the other side because it normally gets pushed in. It's like, all right, it's diffused. the sparker won't ignite it now. Like, this is all still explosive and flammable, but it won't be lit now.
Just fucking tosses it on the
I'm
ground.
stealing that.
Anywho,
Next time we encounter a bomb, I'm using that.
I am going to say that Renji, you have made it back to your. Renji has made it back to his hideout. Sergio, you have made it back to wherever you were heading. The pin has been delivered. Your runner is still out, probably either getting chewed out and getting another message that he's then going to deliver to you in a little bit.
Sergio would like to go, like, since it's during the morning time, he kind of goes and makes his morning runs around the marketplace, you know, like saying hi to everybody, kissing the grandmas, buying some flowers. And then he's gonna do his morning ritual of dropping by Viper's place and leaving some flowers for her.
Okay. We will get to that scene in just a minute. But yeah, you go around, say hi to people. You know, as you're going around, like, kids come up to you, and, you know, every so often people give you like tribute. You know, you get like some hot and fresh muffins and pies, and some people do pay you respect with actual money and whatnot. You know, all that good stuff.
Any of the like the really like cute young kids are like who look like they're not as like rich or anything, I just give them a couple gold pieces and I rub their hair.
You do see that there are like some kids that come up to you that aren't Dwarvish, probably coming from other parts of town. Do you how do you respond to those
I
kids?
interact with them casually. Like, I still interact with them. Like, Sergio isn't just gonna discriminate. The kids are kids to him.
You don't check to see if any of them are selling drugs?
I'll inside check.
All right.
I feel like you're doing
You
an
brought
inside
it
check
up.
because.
By the way,
you
I
think
do
it's
get. By the way, my gems, all my runes are my on my rings on my finger. My gems give me advantage on inside checks.
All right, Thanos.
No,
That's an
literally.
18.
Literally made
Literally,
that.
he's purple. He's
Literally
got magic
Thanos,
rings.
With an 18 insight, I'm going to say that
wait,
you
what are
don't
the
notice
colors?
any particularly shifty kids at this point in time.
It's literally the Infinity
The colors
Gauntlet.
of the ring.
Viper has made it through her morning wine
Wine bottle.
Yeah.
Yep. This is when Sergio shows up.
No.
Hello.
Hold the
Sorry.
phone.
I'm sorry.
I have a scene I would
Phone
like
where?
to do before that scene, if you don't
You're good.
mind.
Sorry. I just thought it would be funny.
Everybody, the blimp has touched now.
Oh yeah.
People are starting to pile out of the blimp. Make me a perception check.
Hold on, I gotta get back to my computer.
Oh dear.
I've just been pissing this whole time. It's like,
If you want, I can roll it for you.
how do I
I should have grabbed my bag of dice.
the thing?
Oh, you have a +3 to perception. That's an 18.
I have no idea how to roll on D&D Beyond. Can you do
I
me a
rolled for you.
favor
You
and
got an
roll for
18,
me?
which is sufficient.
Oh, nice.
You notice
Very
as
lucky.
you step off of the blimp, Dr. Stanton begins to mosey off. You know, these are the type of people that just sort of get off and expect, you know, all the other people working here to take care of their business and whatnot. But Dr. Stanton does have a very specific kind of luggage with one of those handles that rises up. He keeps his own personal like tinctures and tonics with him at all times.
A wheelie bag.
Yes, it's one of those multi-compartment like stacking trays that each of them is like a bag of holding, because he has so much equipment that he keeps on him. But you do notice that there is another figure that steps off of the blimp after everyone has left that you know was not on the blimp. Like, you did not see them step onto the blimp, you did not see them while you were on the blimp, but now that the blimp has touched down, you watch them walk off of the blimp. This figure is tall, perhaps 6-something. It's hard to tell because they have a tall hat. They have this sort of like cape that goes over one shoulder. They seem like they would be like something of nobility, perhaps. They do not blend in with this crowd. There is a very distinct sort of air that matches Rugton that this figure is not. And very much a very specific and unique individual, even from someone coming for important business to Rugton. This figure seems very, very interesting. Really the best way I can describe their attire is ringmaster, for like a lack of better description. They have like these long like high leather boots that are polished to perfection, with white pants and suspenders with this cape off one shoulder, and something that seems like a top hat, but also seems to be curved at the top, like a bowler hat almost, with curved edges. It makes it almost look like a bullet shape.
Check.
What are you insight checking? Just trying to get a general read on them?
See if he's a changeling or not.
Make that insight check with disadvantage. If you're just trying to tell if they're a changeling, I don't know how you would be able to tell that.
I don't think you could
You
without
know
a
what, can I just
microscope.
change it to a regular? Just change it to a regular insight check, see what vibe he's got.
That would still be a disadvantage.
Right.
Can't changelings tell other changelings or changelings? That was a weird sentence to say.
Oh, that's
Say that
how you
back.
roll the dice.
He just
Has
clicked
this
the
guy not
number.
used D&D
He's not-
Beyond before?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
I rolled an 11, and no, I have not.
Okay.
First time for everything. That's all right.
Yeah.
Here is what I will give you. With this sort of intuitional understanding of people that you normally have when you look at people, you know, when you're able to sort of get a grasp of their character within almost an instant, that you have this sort of confidence that you could portray them, if only for, you know, a few minutes or hours before being found out. Unless, because normally you want to do more research, but, you know, generally speaking, you have this, you know, you have a general understanding of people after only knowing them or seeing them for a few seconds. You cannot get a read on this person. They are like, even though they're standing like relatively close to you, they feel like the most distant person ever.
It's a really tall hat. They're only 3 feet tall.
Doug,
It's
you
all
ever done?
hats.
The
And
boots have lifts in them.
This
almost in response
going
to
to
you
be-
attempting to read this person, the figure stops walking, turns over their shoulder, and you can't make out their face, but they tip their hat to you and then turn their head back around and continue walking. And it's at this
I
point
am
that
going to
a voice
tag-
to your side says, "Are you alright, my boy?"
I just saw the man who's either a very flamboyant changeling or someone I don't know oats a peg. It's very, very disturbing.
Dr. Stanton looks around and doesn't seem to notice whoever you're referring to. Well, you are
We all
free
see
to
him.
pursue whatever endeavors you would like. I think I'm done with you for the day. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey, and as always, I will be in touch.
Dismissed.
But he just kind of walks off, really eating this kind of thing right now, but making sure to remember that man.
Okay.
Could
I mean, you can
have
follow him
it.
if you want.
Oh, today is about rest and relaxation before the story begins, so to say.
Okay.
I feel like that's everybody's whatchamacallit thought process right now.
Okay. You head off on your own adventure then. It is now that we will cut over to the Belladonna.
Interesting.
What is Viper doing after she has finished her morning bottle of wine?
She's like in her room, which is like a large suite, obviously, and just elaborately decorated and just, you know, it also has the glamour, so it changes on her moods as everything else in the building. She has a grand walk-in closet of dresses, and she has a whole wall of mirrors in it that she's like, she's kind of pacing
Oh,
and
jeez.
drinking. She's
No, I just
pacing-
imagined that her closet is just a doorway to the mirror dimension.
Oh,
It's
God.
almost like a bag of holding, but for a closet.
Oh,
You got a bag of
yeah,
holding
absolutely.
filled with mirrors.
It's just a massive closet. It's like Barbie's dream house if it was a closet. Just
Oh, jeez.
all kinds of things in there, and this is because she obviously gets a lot of gifts and
I
invites
would
to
love
parties
for
come
you
along
to
with
spend your
dresses.
lair points on an infinite closet.
Like, it's a large closet now, but maybe in the future it will
Yeah, sure,
turn
sure.
into. Yeah, but it just feels like it maybe to a normal person.
If you want a TARDIS closet, you're gonna have to spend a point on that.
I will. We'll get to it later. It's fine. But it is just a very large closet. And she gets all these dresses that come with the invitations. That she gets 2 parties by the males of, society that have interest in her, blah blah blah. She doesn't go to these parties, but she keeps the dresses because she likes the dresses.
Yeah.
No one said she had to give them back if she didn't go.
Oh yeah. Part of your morning routine is like going through all the gifts that you've gotten people and being like,
A lot of them she'll if she's like I probably won't wear this more than the one time I already have, so donate. So she donates a lot of stuff to shelters and trying to rebuild some of the maybe affected areas in her district. But anyway, so
you see a starving family and just hand them a ball gown and like, thank you, this will pay for a year.
No, she has her
No,
she
I
has
get you.
Monica go and sell the dress or something, and then take the money to the place, or however she does that, because she's in charge of finances. So, and
Be the prettiest homeless person. Put on a dress.
yeah,
I just like the idea of like a dress being like a token worth money, like a jewel or something.
I mean, some of
Technically, yes, you
her
can
dresses
flaunt it.
are probably laced with real gold, honestly. So,
For sure. Anywho,
Just that.
so she's pacing around in this big closet of hers. As she paces, she's like sipping from the wine bottle, and then in between sipping from the wine bottle and pacing, she's like grabbing another dress and just kind of holding it up to her, and thinks about it for a second, throws the dress, continues pacing. So that's kind of what she's doing at the moment.
okay. But you eventually come down?
Yeah, she chooses a.
Because you
It's
need
like-
to be a present for when your business
Yes, I
opens.
know, but
Okay.
I'm trying to decide what the dress is that she looks. Actually, she's gonna wear the dress that I've already drawn, the like kind of 20s style dress, but it's a little bit longer, and it's peacock feathers, and the main part of the dress is it's like an eggshell off-white color, but it's kind of sundress.
Oh no, Viper had to do it to him.
And she has her hair up in kind of a half bun, and half of it's kind of draping down over her shoulder. She has her just decked out in gold jewelry, and a gold enamel hairpin with different colored diamonds in it.
And you're working on drawing this?
I will draw it eventually. I have a lot going on. Okay.
No, I was just wondering if you had like
Eventually.
a base that we could like take a peek at.
Yeah, I'll draw that, but
I
Not
thought
right
you
at
said
this
that this
moment.
was one of the outfits that you had started drawing.
Oh no, it's I said it's similar to the
All right, my mistake. I apologize.
other one. Anyway, but yeah, so she comes down, and she's of course just like, and this is like her going to brunch with an old friend outfit. So this isn't even full glam, but it's of course just really extravagant still. And then she'll come downstairs and talk to some of her employees just to check in on things before she leaves, of course.
Yeah, people are like wiping down tables. Yeah, you can see like a lot of the waitresses are like standing in a line. Like everyone's ready to go, just waiting for your go ahead to open the doors.
All right, so I guess if everything's in their places, we're open for business.
It's at this point that you hear like a tap on the glass, and you can see a figure like very very casually, perhaps even a bit rudely, like knocking on the glass doors with his like dirty glove, and he gives you like a shrug, like, "You gonna open?" And he gives you the sly smile, and you recognize this figure.
Don't forget, you can always push the button and call for the beholder.
He's not necessary yet. Jesus Christ. All right, go ahead and open the doors. Any one of you. Don't care who.
And as the two doors slide open, standing before you is a man covered in dust. And as he takes off his large hat, a bit of sand pours off the top and kind of dribbles on the floor as he said, "Well now, Miss Valentina, You're looking as pretty as ever. And this is a figure known as Matthias Mercutio. And he has been attending...
Oh my gosh.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just funny. Funny name. Anyway.
What's wrong with the name Matthias Mercutio?
Well, it just sounds like a name that just sounds like he really likes huckleberries is all. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
I don't get it.
Don't worry, it's fine.
He takes his hat off, as he normally does before entering your establishment, but also upon addressing you, and he gives you a slight bow. This is a human hybrid with an earth genasi. And you do know that... Actually, go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage. Because you would definitely know of this person, but I want to see how well you do know this person.
What does an Earth Genasi look like again?
Stone.
As
It
in
can-
pretty much
if
just
there's-
a human coated with stone.
Basically, he's a human that always keeps a thin layer of dust covering himself, which is a natural sort of health thing that keeps him basically immortal in respect, because he's half fae.
Sounds like the mix of a stone elemental being pure stone and human.
Half of his body actually got destroyed, so his right arm and leg are made purely of rock. What did you get on your history check?
14.
14, okay. Something that you do know about this character is that he has been attending this bar since before Viper took it over. He is not only the most reoccurring customer that you have, but he's been pretty much here before you, and this is part of his daily routine. You do not see him nearly as often as most of your other customers because he goes on very long trips. He has a troubled past where he used to be a bounty hunter, but now kind of does like other work, like traveling across the wastes, or like you know personal jobs where most people couldn't make it or survive, because he has this long-lasting durability, and you don't really know what he does necessarily, other than he goes on these long trips and comes back with some of the greatest stories. Sometimes he is utmost the epitome of respect whenever he's in your space. He tends to go to one of the very back tables, which is the farthest from the door, which is unfortunate. But he also knows that he just wants to be out of the way, out of your space, because he knows that he's not the type of clientele that you want to advertise for your space. But he is very respectful, and honestly, the types of soils that he brings back with him can sometimes be very interesting and refreshing, considering your Fae relation as well. He doesn't really leave a mess as he walks, but he's dusty and dirty.
I'm sure the flowers will enjoy it.
But he does nod to you and say, "Now, you look like you're dressed for quite a tussle there, Missy. What are you up to this afternoon?"
Oh, nothing too crazy. It's a friend of mine, an old friend. She's in town and insists that we grab dinner or lunch.
Well, now, what
time
seems
is
to
it?
be the trouble? You don't seem to be so enthused about your friend's return.
Oh, darling. It's there's just simply a lot going on at the moment, and
At this point, you're like
Yeah.
walking and talking.
you know me, I'm always a busybody, and I don't do the fun thing, as she calls it.
He smiles. Well, if there is one thing that I know about Valentina, is that she always makes a way. Now, I bid you kindly, and I'll leave you to your business. And he saunters his way to his back table.
I'm gonna signal to the barkeep that his first drink is gonna be on the house.
Typically what he does is that he doesn't drink alcohol, but he is very interested in the water from the Fey spring that you have access to specifically, because he is Fey and he does need that connection to sort of survive. Some of your other clientele like to, bathe themselves or, take saunas or whatnot. He just likes to drink water.
Yeah. But assuming
that's his shindig. So.
Yeah. That's his prerogative. No.
Yeah, but I would like to think that perhaps his presence is a little bit soothing and, perhaps a bit more down to earth.
Haha.
Oh, God.
And then following immediately after that is a shorter figure, also
Oh, God.
also in grayscale, with his hat held in front of him.
What? Everyone in grayscale in this building.
Everything about Matthias is brown, from his hat to his boot. Actually, there is one splash of color. He has this sort of poncho that has like different colors, and I don't know if anyone's ever asked him about it. So,
What was the poncho?
oh, does Xanathar ask him?
No, I'm asking you. I don't remember what a poncho is.
Oh, a
It's
poncho
like a-
is like it's like a cloth or sometimes different materials that you wear around your neck that goes over your shoulders, like a tabard. It just sort of drapes over your front and back and just
Like
kind of
a
covers your
raincoat?
shoulders.
It's like a closed cape.
Ah, it's a cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop using fancy words. I'm not that smart.
Imagine a
Poncho?
tablecloth with a hole in the center and you put your head through that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's been imagined. It looks absolutely hilarious, too.
Okay.
You see Beholder going through the bird.
And as always, I'm sure that you have like a place that you have people like hang up their luggage or their coats or their weapons when they enter.
Check. Yeah.
You do know that he does not carry any weapons on him, and he prefers to keep his hat with him.
Sergio. Darling. Hello.
Hey.
I'm sorry. Let me mute.
Awkward.
Oh, Val.
The most
My sweet Val. Oh, your beauty shines ever more.
What is with that accent? What are you doing?
Trying to be romantic. I bought you flowers.
You brought me flowers.
Every day. A rose for every day that I missed you.
Did you leave those flowers outside?
No, I've just recently bought them, thank you.
No, I thought you placed them outside.
No, I came in today.
Is Sergi
Yeah.
allowed to step foot into the establishment?
All are welcome
paid off my
to
tab.
Dahlia.
I paid off my tab, but by that I mean I made my other workers work off the tab.
Matthias
Yes.
is just in the background at the bar grabbing his bottle of water and kind of raises an eyebrow at Sergio.
His
But
bottle
doesn't.
of spring water. Oh, goodness.
But he doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just sort of nods to
flowers
you,
out.
Viper, like, if you need me, I'll be over here.
Well,
Sergio, you come in here every day, bringing me flowers. Why do you think pestering me will make me change my mind?
More importantly,
This-
giving flowers to a druid. God, flowers.
Yeah, the one thing that she does not need help with.
There's literally, so all of the vines right now are to complement the blacks and golds of the place is midnight blues and black, like orchids and lilies.
I assume every once in a while Xanathar just tries eating one of the flowers to see if it might taste good.
Yeah, it'll probably spray your eye with pollen.
I like to imagine that one of the workers comes over and goes to sweep Matthias's like hat dust and just sweeps it directly into Sergio.
Sergio fucking gets a little irritated, but then fucking keeps his composure.
Darling, I am simply too busy to deal with this today. Is there something you needed, or
I simply wanted to see my most beautiful woman in all of the land. Is that so wrong to come and visit?
Sergio, please stop doing that stupid accent. I
don't remember my accent, sorry.
I thought you were doing it on purpose.
What?
I'm sorry. Okay. Just talk normal then, I guess. Sergio, like I said, I am extremely busy today. I am so very sorry that we can't do our usual spiel as always.
What do you mean when I simply confess my love to you, then you usually yell about how I left you at that diner, which was an unfortunate case because I was arrested. But then I ended up coming back a year later, which I didn't miss, and you were pissed off at me because I didn't send you any mail, but I couldn't send any mail because considering everybody was after my head. And I didn't want to put you in danger, but it seems you don't understand that. Please give me makeup.
Did you just mansplain to me? You know what? You know what? Alright. I'll let that slide. I can't do this today. Go have a drink. First drink is on me. The rest of it you will have to pay. Good. I have to get ready. I'm sorry. I can't do this right now. She's just gonna.
Please, but you're beautiful no matter what.
I know I'm beautiful. I wasn't asking. I just.
I just turned back over to Vinny, who isn't allowed in the bar, but he kind of stands outside and be like, I just whispered to him and be like, see, I totally have her flustered.
Matthias is slowly walking up on this conversation.
Oh, Matthias! You remember Sergio.
Why, yes I do. Pardon me for asking, partner, but what brings you around this place?
Doing my daily walk arounds and visiting my favorite places, my most beautiful of women.
Well, it seems as though that you've done your dues and made your peace. And he extends out a bottle for you. Just kind of gives you a slight nod with a smile.
Sergio will grab the bottle in one hand and then grab his hand out with the other. Seems like you want to have a drink. Come on, let's sit around.
You take this and go, alright?
Why would I want to leave?
Consider it an olive branch and leave it at that. And he turns and walks back inside.
Ah, goodness. Sergio, perhaps he's interesting, yes, but perhaps you can just take your drink and maybe we can do this again another time, okay? I have a very important friend coming. She wants to do lunch, and I can't have anything go wrong here while I'm gone. She just kind of the idea.
Is that a promise?
I don't promise you anything ever. You know this.
But
you are lucky I'm even talking to you right now, and I'm not mad. Accept it. Okay.
Except, or we get the beholder out.
Yeah. Press the button. Press it.
I see.
I know, right? I want something to do.
I see them. All right. I think I should just take my leave, but I'll be back tomorrow. Same time as always. My sweet. I love you.
Can't wait.
I'll
Yeah,
earn you
flowers
back.
are so pretty, but they're never fun to eat. They
He
don't
li-
taste good
Sergio,
either.
Sergio leaves his flowers and be like, "Au revoir, my dove. I'll be back for you."
I just like to imagine that Viper is like, I really need to install that trap door that leads to the beholder pit.
Yeah, it's on her top of her list of things that she's like, Monica, we need to make sure that we have finances enough for next month to install this.
Like full Jabba the Hutt style, like
Yeah.
I had to fight a giant freaking
Rancor.
What was that thing called?
A
Rancor.
Nope, instead you get a nice
yeah, it's just a beholder.
I didn't realize I could just grow the large size and just stop the crusher.
all right, men.
But yeah, no. Sergio takes his leave, proud of himself for his what he assumes to be good flirting.
Viper, as you turn around, you see that Matthias is finishing his business. He like you watched as he paid for a bottle and brought it out to Sergio so that he would have no further reason to be here other than the fact that he is bothering you, which Matthias tried to point out and be like, take a hint, guy.
Also, that flower, he left the
telling a
bowl.
dwarf
Definitely
to
gonna
take
try
it.
eating them, see if these ones might be fun.
Matthias is just he's always got this kind of like straight slash across his mouth that's pretty much like a solid line that he sometimes fades into a smile every now and again. You know, he tries to remain good spirited, but the way that he's looking at you, he can tell that this isn't going anywhere, but he doesn't want to say anything.
Oh.
And just kind of turns away and doesn't want to be, you know, he tends to stick to his own business. You know that about him, so. But and he starts walking back to his table. What were you gonna say?
I'm going to I guess would it be Druidcraft? I'm going to kind of I don't know, make a flower boutonniere, is that what it's called?
That's boutonniere.
It's like a brooch, but I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But a boutonniere made of like a deep orangey, almost kind of brownish red color, flower with some other smaller flowers appear on his poncho as a thank you. So it kind
yeah,
of
you can
matches
literally
his...
have it like growing on like the right side of his hair or something if you.
It's good. No, it's like it's a boutonniere, so it's gonna be like kind of on the. It's like above where your heart is, kind of on your chest of his
Yeah,
poncho.
his like right pectoral muscle is like missing, so if you actually wanted it to like plant it in there, it like wouldn't bother him at all. And I think he like turns around and like gives you a slight smile. You can make an insight check if you want.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, my cat's being annoying. Okay. Insight. Ooh, that was not good. That was a 5. I told you guys it was all going downhill from here. That's funny.
You know that he's like not head over heels in love with you. That's like one of the
Fondness,
nicest
but-
things about him is that he's like just a friend, which has been pretty cool. It is a sad smile, but you don't really know if it's because of something that he's going through or because he's looking at what you're doing. But his face suddenly does change, and he turns and starts hobbling his way back to you, and he says, "Ah, Miss Viper, I do have something for you that I accumulated on one of my journeys." And he reaches into the side satchel that he has, and he pulls out a kind of dirty vial, just because it's kind of old and he doesn't use new equipment. And you can see that inside of it is actually a bloom of a flower that he picked and attempted to store. Found this while I was out. Wasn't sure if you had ever seen something like this before. So thought it might interest you. He just hands it over to you. If you would like to make a nature check.
Yes, please.
I feel like the person bringing the druid flowers might just be crazy and doesn't realize that the druid's got flowers.
So the green symbol with an A by my stuff,
That means you
that's
have
an A.
advantage.
Oh, dope!
Ooh, free advantage.
Yeah.
You can click on it and see what it is specifically that you get advantage for and whatnot. But I'm going to say that because this is a
You
flower,
recall
a plant.
information about fae, fiends, or undead. Oh, that's lame.
Well,
Oh,
this
well, at
is
least-
your plant. So this is your expertise. So yes, you have advantage on this.
Yay! 15.
Okay. This is it's always really interesting to see like plants from different areas of the world, which is why Matthias started picking up these things as he went, and just kind of seeing what you knew about it, or seeing if it's like a difference. It does seem to be a different style that you haven't seen before, but you know exactly what it is. It is a nightshade.
Did you mean nightshade?
Yes.
I believe
It is starting to
Matthias.
wither, but it is still discernible, and you can bring it back to life if you so choose.
Sure.
Okay, you do so.
Oh.
He starts to say, "Well, now, ain't that something? I always do find really interesting how you're able to bring back life to even the most tired and weary of travelers." It just gives you a nod.
Thank you, Matthias. It is lovely. And if I find out any more information about this that you might find interesting, I will let you know.
He reaches up to tip his hat and realizes it's not there, and kind of laughs a little. Anyhow, and he just heads back to his table.
Yeah, she's going to set the bottle kind of on, like, there's like this really fancy nice vase, and she's gonna take the vase down and put it under the table and put the new flower in a bottle on the table
Okay.
where the vase was.
I mean,
kinda
you
display
can
it.
absolutely graft this into like the bar. Like you have like lots of wood around, or even like I'm sure you have like planter boxes or whatnot. So it's just
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
It's more of just like for now until she comes back, because she's like also dreading this. Not dreading, but she's nervous about the lunch. So.
What is Sergio doing as he turns to walk away?
What do you mean? I thought Sergio just kind of walked out.
Yeah, are you like going anywhere, doing anything?
I just kind of continue after this and be like, alright. So what's
Wait.
on the agenda to...
I have an idea. Does he like go over to like does he go get like a sad bagel and like sits outside on a bench like
to
has his
Waffle
breakfast?
Exactly. You know what? Yeah, Sergio just kind of like he goes and grabs like some breakfast or whatever, like just like a nice bagel, you know, and get some bagel with some cream cheese. And goes finds a park. He just kind of sits down. He just watches over everybody while he has Vinny just kind of like at his side, sort of surveilling the area, making sure nobody's doing anything shady.
Okay. Yeah. Eventually, your runner comes back, and he looks stressed.
You look alright?
Hey, boss. The council wants to have a meeting.
When?
As soon as you can get there.
God damn it. I was enjoying this fucking day.
Slams the bagel into the ground.
Oh boy, depression.
And then the beholder
I
comes
literally do
over and
that.
picks it
I
off the
slam
ground.
the bagel into the ground, just be like, fuck, I start walking away. And I just go, Vinny, clean that shit up. No littering in my fucking, we don't litter here.
Yeah, your men instantly get to work cleaning up.
God.
Like a couple of the guys like look confused, and Vinny's like, "You heard the man, clean it up."
And get me another bagel before we get there.
Okay.
Yeah, just drop the bagel and just go get a new one.
In fact, get a whole bunch of bagels. They're probably gonna be fucking hungry. Get some for yourself too. I'm sorry, I'm very hungry.
When your character's so drunk they don't even remember their own accent.
I'm tired, alright? I had a long day.
I believe it. You threw a fucking trash can at an elf.
And you get
Yes, I was very angry at that moment.
is that stupid pumpkin spice thing back yet? Give me one of those.
I need one of those pumpkin spice. Where they at, huh?
Oh my
Tell
god,
them to bring it back.
Pumpkin spice lattes are so good. I'm sorry. Anyway.
I'm just waiting for an opportunity to do my job.
I mean, yeah, Xanathar, is there anything that you want to do?
I don't really got much to do. I mostly have to keep an eye on
That's
this
fair.
building. Well,
You-
I'm attempting to eat one of the prettier flowers, thinking that it might be crunchy enough to taste good.
I'm sure she
Alright.
leaves you a bunch of wilted, crunchy leaves and.
She leaves me roses by the stairs.
You
I was
also
gonna
probably bring them leftovers for any fucking roadkill. I don't care. It's Boulder. They eat everything.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna say that fucking Viper just gives him the flowers that Sergio just gave her.
Oh,
no.
100%. That's what she did. That's the leaves and flowers that are wilty. Is she like wilted them?
Aww.
I was just
She does this-
thinking
she
you
does this-
tried to give them to her. Just drop. She
She just
take
throws
it,
them
drop
straight in the
just-
trash.
right in the trash. So dropping
is-
in the trash can might leave it to be reduced to less than a millimeter.
Yeah, but no. I mean, you have free. You can roam around. You don't have to be hidden away. Just because you're a
I'm not
beholder.
hidden. No, just nobody acknowledges the beholder in the room.
Used to it.
Any
Just like, oh god damn it.
Okay.
Renji,
Hello there.
you have made your way back to your hideout. Go ahead and make me a perception or survival check.
Count tips. What's that? 22?
Perception 22?
Yeah.
You notice upon your usual arrival that you make your way back to your hideout, this old abandoned building, and you notice that your usual the way that you sneak in, there's like a loose board, has actually been removed, which leads you to believe that someone has maybe been here or may perhaps currently be inside.
Okay. Am I able to pull out a psychic blade and hold it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull out a psychic blade before I go inside,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna get ready to attack whatever the fuck is in there.
What's your dog's name?
My dog is Blinky.
Okay. Blinky is kind of just up beside your ankle, panting softly.
You pet him. It's okay, boy. Okay. And then we're gonna go in.
Make a
Dagger in
stealth
hand.
check.
Stealth. That's gonna be a 30.
Okay. You activate Misty Step as a reaction and just continuously hold it, turning into vapor and pass through all the walls.
Can you? I don't know if Mrs. Step actually can do that. You have to see a destination.
I don't know. Anywho, yeah, you enter your abode. What is your plan of attack?
First I'm gonna try to look around and see if anything's out of place, if anything can move.
All right, give me another perception check.
Is 16.
You notice that there doesn't seem to be anything moved or adjusted. You can see that there is disturbed dust, which leads you to believe that someone has been moving through here recently. You can't see necessarily where they went unless you would like to make a survival check.
Yeah, I'll make a check.
Okay, yeah, that's specifically the tracking skill. So
That's a 14.
okay, yeah, you can tell that whatever figure came through here was probably humanoid in size, as it sort of managed to brush dust off of some of the higher things in here. You can't really pick out their footsteps necessarily, but you can see where the floorboards have actually been stressed. And you can tell that the figure went around the main floor and down into the basement.
Hey, I'm gonna go into the basement. I'm gonna try to sneak my way downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, and this entire time looking around, it doesn't look like anything has been touched. You make your way into the basement, you look around, you don't see anybody. You also can't see that anything's been touched or moved or addressed in any way.
How is it? Can I turn a light on, or can I use like my fairy fire to like do like a little bit of lights so I can see in the corners or anything?
I mean, you have dark vision, so you can easily look about the space without needing to activate any sort of... But yeah, you look around, if anyone was to be hiding behind something, you would easily see if any sort of dust or anything was disturbed. That's the best base about your hideout, is that you chose an abandoned building, which means that if anyone touches anything, you would know.
Okay.
So yeah, there does not seem to be any place that someone could be hiding down here.
So I'm gonna assume that they left. I'm gonna go upstairs and begin my trance until night.
Okay, yeah, you may go ahead and commence your trance. It's just something to be aware of, that someone has entered and left.
Oh, before trance, can I blink on high alert in case someone walks in? You can just start biting at me.
Oh, you want Blinky to be
Kind of like
guard dog?
guard in the area in case someone decides that they're gonna try to sneak up on me.
Go ahead and make an animal handling check.
Oh, that's a 7.
Okay. Blinky's not the most trained dog, but when you go to take your rest, he knows that that's not nap time for him, so he'll be awake. But I will roll perception for him. Whew. It's not a natural 20, but it's the next best thing. Okay, and you begin your rest. Let's cut over to everybody. What is everybody doing?
It's 12 a.m. where I am, dude. It's probably gonna be like my last round.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you want to go to bed after this?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
unfortunately, sorry.
All right.
but he's going to go to popular juice joint known as the whatchamacallit, the thing owned by Viper.
Oh, the Donabella? I thought you were going to go to the Marmalade Bombshell, the way you were describing it.
Yeah,
No,
the
I'm gonna
Belladonna
go
is like a
to
bar.
the Donabella.
Okay, yeah, you
I'm gonna
go visit the Donabella.
Belladonna.
It's the drink with the highest alcohol ratio.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to get, like, seriously messed up, you probably want to get something that has, like, diluted poison in it or something.
She does have that.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Specifically saved for
Well,
Sergio.
get me 2 of those and a good
She does have a house
Use
special.
Right, there's, like, herbal stuff. Like, if you want to get drunk, it's different than getting, like, wasted. So are you here to have a good time, or are you here to get knocked out?
Are you here for a good time or a long time?
Yeah.
here to get knocked out.
Okay. Yeah, you probably give him something that has nightshade in it.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody a usual customer? Does Viper? Oh, I guess this is Viper's or this is everybody's first time back in a long while, and he's hiding himself, I suppose. But I was wondering, is there any history between you guys? Like any significant history, I suppose.
The beholder's not going to recognize
No.
you, so don't do anything stupid.
Oh.
Do you disguise yourself as a dwarf as you make your way?
Oh God.
No,
Oh,
that's a fair
disguise
point, because
myself as-
it is mostly dwarves down here.
Oh, it's the same shape I took when I got off the blimp. And
Okay.
while I was on the blimp.
Like a humanoid farmer is what you said?
Establishing a dude with a farmer's tan, kind of a nice looking fellow. Approachable, to say the least.
What's your passive perception, everybody?
Passive perception. Ooh. Passive perception. Where the passive? Yeah, I have a 13 in passive perception. I checked
Okay.
myself, find it.
Even with that, you notice, without even intentionally following him, you followed that mysterious person directly down here. You hopped on one of those trolleys. There are 3 main ones that make their way up and down the mountainside, and took not the most direct necessarily, but the most, casual way to the Belladonna. And that figure walks
Nice.
in before you.
Right, I'm gonna act like I'm super duper drunk and head over to that guy. And
Okay.
wrapping my arm around him and real cheery, saying stuff like, "Oh, do I know you? We go to college together," and just generally distracting him quite a bit.
Make
Talk.
make a performance check. Or deception, if you would
Ooh,
prefer.
okay.
I mean, you're acting, so
Deception.
deception or performance.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. You stumble into the bar already acting drunk. I think some of Viper's girls kind of notice you, and start to come over like, "I'm sorry, sir, is he bothering you?" And the figure waves him away dismissively, takes you by the arm and sits you down in one of these booths and sits across from you. He does not seem to be deceived by your guise, perhaps because he saw you already, or because he sees through you. And again, as you sit across from this person, you can make out every single excruciating detail of what they're wearing, but beyond the clasp of their stark white gloves, looking up above their collar, you cannot make out any physical appearance of this person. It is just
damn.
garble in your mind.
He's a spot. Hi, blow him up.
He's a blank from Warhammer. I am going to just set my cup down and get super serious, saying, so, have business with me?
The figure
Good guy.
steeples their fingers and leans closer, as if saying, it seems like you're the one that has business with me. And then they reach a hand up, snapping their fingers, and one of the waitresses comes over with two glasses and a drink.
Everybody just takes the drink.
He does the thing where he takes the bottle, because the waitress was going to pour it, and he takes it instead. And then he pours the two glasses, and then he pushes them both towards you, and then leans back.
Everybody thinks to himself, damn, this guy knows his moves. And everybody just kind of says, right, play it straight. Let's get answers before we all fall down the wrong hole. Quite the strange creature. You don't exactly have a presence, proper presence within the world of my perspective, so to say.
The figure raises a hand as if to tap where their nose is on the side, and then puts their hand back down.
Glad you noticed. How exactly are you a blank of sorts?
The
Magic?
The figure unlaces their hands, presses their palms together, and actually seems to rub their hands together. Make a persuasion check.
The hell is persuasion? Oh, I found it. Out of 15.
The figure clasps their hands together kind of tightly. And then leans back. And then they raise a hand up towards your face. Do you stop them?
I do not. And just mentally prepare for whatever the fuck is going to happen.
They raise their palm up, fingers together, thumb to the side. And it stays there for just a moment. And then when they move their hand back, they look exactly like you. But not the current form that you have right now, but a younger version of yourself. The last time that you ever actually saw what you truly looked like when you were born, before you learned how to master your shape-changing abilities. And at first the face is a mask, and then it smirks slightly at you. And it says, in your voice, "Thank you for this. I'll make use of this quite handsomely." And then they stand up, tossing a few coins onto the table, and start to walk out.
Oh, I can't just wait to slice you up, Buddy says under his breath.
The figure turns, again, doing the thing where they slowly rotate their head to look at you over their shoulder. "I'd like to see you try." And then a cane appears in their hand, and they begin twirling it as they walk out.
Now I really can't wait.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Just
Okay,
fucking
wow.
explodes.
Oh no.
How do I... shit.
You click the wisdom saving throw box.
Shush. Got to check. How do I...
Oh, are you checking to see if you have advantage on certain saves?
No, I've just been using D&D Beyond to roll.
Oh yeah, you have a +0
Under-
to save.
Wisdom. How do I turn it from a check to a save?
So
you
under
hit
your
you hit the saving throw, which is in the top left.
Top left?
Rolled
oh,
an
you're
8.
using it on computer.
Since you don't have any modifiers, it's just a straight up d20 roll if you just want to roll a d20.
Alright, let's just roll a d20.
You know how to do that.
Oh, 19.
You start to see double, and your vision gets woozy, and you realize that something's happening to you that's beyond your control and understanding, and it's almost like you're playing memories in reverse, and you're suddenly stumbling over this figure's arm, and then you're walking behind them, and you're walking backwards, and then you're back on the blimp, or just stepping off of it, to the first time that you saw this person's face, and you actually do see their face this time, and that's when you collapse.
Okay, that drink must
Fuck.
contain the good stuff
People
in
think
it.
I'm actually drunk now.
Viper, you just hear the clattering of someone face planting on a table nearby.
Oh my, we just opened already? Are you-
Should I dispose of him?
No, we don't dispose of living bodies.
Oh,
It's
Unless
not
it's a
yet.
you.
He could be dead if you want him to be.
I'm not.
Who
says that?
Wrong. He could be very much dead. We haven't actually checked, and I'm not a doctor.
It's like that famous joke of like, 911, I think my friend's dead. Okay, can you make sure? Bam! Okay, I'm sure.
Alright, where's your location? We're sending police right away.
Do I know if this is a magic thing or? can I tell? Can I do a...
Make an Arcana
magic?
check.
Yeah.
The hell is wet?
What the
What?
fuck?
This man don't show up, but he's posting memes in the discussion channel.
Oh, that's Ryan, yeah. Are you on my thing,
No.
Sparrow?
What?
I can't roll. Are you on my thing?
No.
Oh. Why the fuck can't I roll?
Refresh your page.
Oh, frustrating. Okay.
You want me to roll for you?
No,
Okay.
I got it. I'm a big girl. I can roll myself. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was almost a nat 20. 21.
You didn't detect anyone casting any spells in your lair. Looking at this person, you don't know specifically what... It's not really your area of expertise, but I will give you that much.
Where do we put the hobos again?
Just set him outside on the curb.
Yeah, I thought so. Thank God for telekinesis.
One of the waitresses comes up and is like, he did ask for the strongest stuff to just get him plastered.
And you gave it to him? This early in the morning?
He seemed stressed.
Well, I mean, everybody hasn't even taken a sip yet.
New rule. Nobody
So-
gets the strong stuff this early in the day.
It's
5
so
o'clock.
strong that you get drunk without drinking it. It's very efficient.
It's also so strong it sends the player to sleep.
I get it.
Hey,
'cause
good.
he was going
Good.
to
I
sleep.
have
Yeah.
stuff to do tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah, see ya.
Also, how well do you tank 30 feet of momentum?
What?
Well enough.
I can... Telekinesis moves you at like 30
Oh,
feet
gotcha.
every time. So what happens when he hits the ground at that motion?
The beholder
You
just
can set him down gently.
Beholder
Eh,
just pulls out
Beholder
the
isn't
gravity
known for
gun.
Being gentle.
The gravity gun.
Yeah, just picks him up. Just launches him ragdolls across the
Honestly,
floor.
that's how I imagine telekinesis is. It's just,
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeet.
Yeet! Okay.
I'm still
Uh,
waiting for an opportunity to do my actual job, not just dispose of the hobo.
what do you want to do? You want to eat people?
I don't know. I'm waiting for crime or something.
I mean,
You know, I'm
you're
a security person.
free to leave the building too.
It's just
not...
boring around here. He's complaining that there's nothing to do.
Yeah, there's nothing around here.
My job
What?
sucks because I'm succeeding.
Yeah,
you go. You
you're
try to-
good
you
at
could
this
always-
job.
You could always try to freaking go mess with Sergio's men and see how that turns out.
I mean, it wouldn't be too much messing. Wait for them to be alone, paralyze them, drop them in the dumpster, and they instantly die.
I actually do have something for Xanathar. You just keep, you just are tucked away in your little den, right? You don't have anything that like keeps watch on the place or anything, do you?
Well, normally one of the employees would push a button.
Okay, so you're just waiting to be called, basically. You're not like keeping watch or anything.
No, though sometimes I do pop up to look around, do whatever I feel like. Be a beholder.
beholds the world and whatnot.
And always remember, you are the best beholder of all beholders. Nothing will be better than you.
Make an insight check.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go find my character sheet.
Your int is +3, your wisdom is +2.
I have a. Always remember, I got a +12 to perception and a passive perception of 22. Nothing sneaks
Jeez.
by. Yeah, sneaking works against my own perception, and good luck, buddy.
Got eyes everywhere.
I mean, yes. D20. What was inside again?
I believe it's wisdom, which is +2, plus your proficiency. Are you proficient with? No, you're not proficient. Anyways.
No, because then it would have its own skill.
Right.
So I guess +2. 13.
From your den, you do get a sense that something's off. You haven't heard from anyone all day. And normally people give a knock on your tin, be like, "Hey, morning, we're getting started," or whatever.
Or
You
get the hobo
also
outta
haven't
here.
felt the need to go out and do your rounds. And then it starts to dawn on you that you think that there might have been a magical effect that was affecting you.
If no one's calling, something is wrong.
Yeah. It's too peaceful.
Too quiet. Well, time to start readying the death rays.
Glad it's peaceful for some of us.
Yeah,
Paranoid. I would not trust peaceful.
you exit your lair in the back alley of the Belladonna, and you begin snooping around. What would you like to do?
Well, time to make my rounds with the eyes ready, because something's gone wrong.
Okay. Are you just waving the anti-magic cone at things?
Yep. Yeah, I do that as well. Point anti-magic at everything. Makes it really easy. I got the main eyes ready to blow something to smithereens.
As you're making your rounds around the building, you wave your anti-magic cone at someone sweeping out in front, and then you watch as she shakes her head and rubs her temples a little bit, and looks around confused, as if you've just broken her from a charming effect.
Oh, and the even funnier thing is she can't cast any spells herself.
Right.
As long as I keep an eye on her.
Right, but just waving it over her, it dismissed the charm effect that was affecting her. And this is one of the people that works at the Belladonna.
Okay, good. I was about to ask if I recognize them as one of the people I'm not allowed to eat.
Yeah, you do.
What is with you? And normally not back here.
I don't know. I just was doing my job, and I the opposite of deja vu, where you feel like you've skipped over something, you zoned out for a little bit there.
Yeah, I got 11. I used to have 11 eyes. I generally have a lot of blank pieces in the tapes. Only that's something wrong. Time to get this checked out, isn't it?
You head inside.
Yep. Time to figure out what's going down. Just gotta do it stealthily as the large ball.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll stealth, I suppose.
God.
Stealth would be done with Dex +2. Come on, D20.
I imagine him rolling
18.
behind pillars, but in the air because he's floating.
18 total.
18 total.
Okay. you quickly make your way in the door and just start floating up in the rafters. And same thing happens every single time that you wave your anti-magic cone at anybody inside the space. They stop, blink, and like rub their head like they've just been broken up from a daze.
I'm gonna start asking the employees, do any of you have a clue of what's going on? Something is here that shouldn't be.
Everyone says the exact same thing, that they feel like they had a lapse of memory.
The hell went down here?
I don't think Viper was in here when it happened, but yeah. Go ahead and make a... You're just sort of asking around. Make a persuasion or investigation check.
I'm pretty sure they're both on charisma. I don't have any extra bonuses other than the +3. I'm
Okay.
surprisingly well mannered. Oh, that's an 8 to start with. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. That's not good at all.
Like, no one's really able to, like, sort of corroborate a story of, like, what time they think they lost, or, like, you know, but you do have, like, the consistency that, everyone has this,
And it's all happened about the same time.
Well, I mean, it was affecting everyone. Did you kick out everybody, or is he still at one of the tables? Viper.
I'm pretty sure I disposed of the unconscious body by throwing
I mean, this
it
is your
into the
first time
curb.
coming out, so do you,
I guess I was planning to.
Viper?
What?
Did you have everybody removed?
I think I had him like situated somewhere because he wasn't, so he could like rest, but it wasn't out in the like elements.
Oh, yeah, you took him from one of like the open booths and probably put him in like one of the waiting rooms or something.
Yeah, on a sofa
Okay.
or something.
Instead of like
Okay.
beholder, throw him to the curb.
Yeah. So Viper, you're here too, but you didn't suffer any lapse of memory because you weren't here when whatever event happened.
Though you definitely will have a tiny lapse in magic because anti-magic.
Yeah. He just kind of
Well-
like waves it over you.
Gotta
Was
look at
it
everything.
was it like a charmed thing or?
I mean,
Because she has immunity to that anyway.
Ooh.
right,
He can't
which
be
is
charmed
why
or
I'm
put to sleep.
which is why I'm saying that Viper did not experience the lapse that everyone else here did.
Oh, okay. Well, you just okay. The
Looks
way
like
you
we're gonna
worded
have
it
to-
confused me, so it's all good.
Right,
like
when
we're
he
at
when
the
he waves the
closest
cone
thing.
over people, they like wake up from something. But when you do it to Viper, nothing happens because she wasn't affected.
What are you doing?
It's too quiet. It's never this quiet.
Yes, I was having a rather peaceful morning. Well,
And-
minus
And
Sergio.
everyone's acting weird when I look at them. Something has affected them all.
No, darling, you are a giant eyeball. I don't know how you expect people to act around you otherwise.
Most people don't act at all around me. They don't acknowledge that I exist.
That's fair.
It's unless I'm currently trying to grab them or zap them.
You do
or-
have a point.
They have memory issues. I think we're gonna have to reparse together this memory. But you don't seem to be affected. This will be helpful.
I'm sure you could do a thorough investigation for me. Thank you.
Believe me, that's the plan.
And it's at this moment that you are talking to a beholder that a radiant figure marches into the building and says, "Darling."
What's your name again?
What?
What was her name? Dutch?
Oh, Marlene.
Marlene, that's right. I was like, it's something with an M.
I assume I definitely will notice them because I can see in every direction at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You also wave the anti-magic cone at her, and she's like, "Oh, do you mind turning that off? Us Fae are quite susceptible to such things. Anyway, I don't remember your new bodyguard. Who's this sprightly fellow?"
This is... Well, he can introduce himself. Introduce yourself.
Oh, great. I gotta figure out a personality for this motherfucker.
I like to
one
imagine
part
that he
I'm
just
bad at
said that
character
out
creation.
loud.
He doesn't know how to not talk out loud sometimes.
I have to talk to people.
It's the one part I didn't sign up for. Also, he doesn't speak common by the looks of his language section. Only deep speech and undercommon, so I
You
don't
can
even
you
know
can
if
talk to
anyone
Faye.
can understand him.
She's
can
Faye,
understand
so
you.
she can understand you.
Thank God for magic.
Mm-hmm.
I assume the normal customers have no clue what I'm on about.
Yeah.
They just hear you screeching
Well,
at us.
Maybe that's why they ignore him. Just like, maybe I
Don't you
should've
have
been involved.
telepathy?
I don't
I'm pretty sure you have telepathy.
I don't remember having telepathy. I know I have telekinesis, petrification,
Oh.
sleep, death, charm, fear and slowing are out of order, and, well, evisceration.
I will assume that you either know and understand common so that you can be a part of this campaign, or you have telepathy so that you can talk to people in their mind, which doesn't require language. You can just communicate.
Interesting.
I will allow you to choose. Does it make more sense for a beholder to talk to people in their mind or have picked up the local dialect?
Honestly, I do like the idea that I've just logged into someone's brain, just like, my god, you guys are terrible at this.
I also like the idea that you actually can't speak to people. You're just like, "Arr, arr, arr."
He can speak to people, just nobody understands what the hell. It's like, I'll do it myself. If you won't understand me, I'll make you understand the old-fashioned way.
Okay. You just beam thoughts directly into their mind.
Yep. Yeah, you
Okay.
guys need to start locking your brains better.
Oh, jeez. It's terrifying. Anywho, she can understand your normal talking, unless you do want to invade her thoughts. But how do you introduce yourself to this fairy?
What the hell did she look like? I already forgot. I got like
She's
3
Marilyn
pieces of
Monroe.
memory. That would be very useful if I knew who that was.
She's a famous actress. She was like in Bond films and whatnot.
Okay,
Celebrity lady.
Okay, I'm just gonna load generic celebrity and that'll be good enough.
Okay.
Didn't you fuck up the president or some shit?
I still need to figure out a personality for him. And just use normal mates faster. Yeah. I'm Xanathar. I secured the place. Something has cursed them all. Well, and I must find the source and deal with it the old-fashioned way. The new-fashioned way. I don't remember.
Oh, he's so quirky. Yes, very good, very good. You do that. Come along now, Viper. I'm sure we have much to see. You are free, I assume.
Always.
Yes,
free
very
for
good, very good.
fun.
Let's go. She just grabs you by the arm and just starts leading you behind her.
Blah!
But you wish Sugar was there now.
Oh.
That's
So where are you taking me this time?
To see the sights, darling. To see the sights.
The sights. I live here.
But do you really live?
Well, Xanathar is definitely making his rounds, looking for what the hell.
Okay. What else do you want to do about the place?
I'm looking, trying to figure this out.
Okay.
See if there's any correlations in everyone's memories.
While you're investigating that, let's see. Let's cut over to Sergio and his meeting with the elders, or not the elders, but the yeah.
Council.
the other dawns.
Yeah, let's see. Actually, do you
Everybody
mind
has
if
bagels.
you mind if we do another bathroom break real quick? Just because this
Actually,
is
I
gonna
would
be a
love that
big
because
part.
I do have to go to the bathroom.
All right, cool.
I didn't want to say anything though because we already took one.
How many times do you guys have to go to the bathroom? Fucking hell.
We drink a lot of
I am
water.
constantly drinking water because I'm talking the most. I have a small bladder. So.
Yeah, and Spellholder's definitely gonna parse over his own memory, see if there's any gaps in his banks. So many eyes, it's going to be somewhat easy to notice. Damn, 1 to 11. 2 of them don't work. Damn heroes. Thinking they're the best thing in the world, I'll show them one day.
Alrighty. Are you kidding me?
Hmm.
Oh, it's being stupid again. I'm just waiting for Sergio to get back, I suppose.
Hmm.
So how are you guys liking the campaign so far?
Pretty fun. I almost died already, but it's pretty fun.
That's the beauty of it.
And again, this is just sort of session 0 to get the whole situation set up. And then, like, you know, getting everyone introduced. And then
I
next
wouldn't-
session we'll actually get started.
I still wasn't ready to fight a 12-foot dwarf.
You're good.
Yeah, it's not his only surprise. I do apologize if my accent changes. I'm not
It's
fully
fine. It
used to
takes
it.
a while to get into character.
Oh, good people are back.
loosen up a little bit. Guess I have to get into a fight. It involves me clicking.
And I get to try and be a detective over what the hell has gone down.
Is there anything specifically that you want to do while you're investigating the scene? I think this is less about like making checks and more about like what do you want to do specifically.
Well, time to get a piece of paper and probably some paperweights. Because it's kind of hard to write on a paper when you don't have any hands.
Just get some push pins and some string.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much, I'm just going through everyone, checking what they know, getting the daily logs from them, getting my own logs. And once Viper gets back, get her logs as well, see if I can find where everything has gone wrong.
Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Ooh, advantage.
Because you're doing like mind searching, so I'm gonna say that this is definitely your expertise. and
I
you're just
mean,
trying
I'm
to-
also security, so these employees will most likely just give me the logs. They don't. They know who I am.
Can an eyeball hold a lock?
I can't.
What?
I have telekinesis, so while I cannot two-hand stuff, I can just grab anything I want.
Fair enough.
I got double 8 on my D20 plus whatever investigation is.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'll probably keep trying until I get an actual answer. There's always a solution.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how best to kind of get you head in that direction, but not reveal it. I think you're starting to piece together that something happened where this wasn't like a universal event where everyone's minds got like blanked. It's almost like one after another that like wherever people were situated, as something was coming in, people's minds like flipped off for just a second.
Like, they turned around and suddenly the tape just stops.
Yeah, like
gotta be-
people intentionally like looked away or just like closed their eyes for a second, and like you're starting to piece together that something subconsciously convinced people to not remember something, and it's just not there in their brains.
Does this place have like a log of who's been here? I probably doubt it.
No.
No, it's based pretty much I got everyone's memory, so I pretty much have to wait for Viper to get back. Like the one bank that has everything, or does my memory have any gaps in it from any of the 9 tapes that would be running?
I mean, it's all one brain.
Yeah, but I got like I normally would have 11 eyes. I only have 9 currently.
I understand what you're going for. I'm gonna say that either way, I don't know how you'd be able to tell.
Well, and I would stop recording. If it doesn't affect all eyes universally, then when I would
I mean,
stop
you were just in
recording,
your
everyone
lair,
noticed,
so
so I wasn't even affected.
yeah.
I was probably out of range, actually.
Yeah.
Because it is a pretty decent drop down here. Right into a crushing trap. I love this design.
Okay. Sergio, you are quickly making your way towards the hub. There is a central meeting place in the center of all the locations. It is a respected meeting place. where all of the heads of the different mafia families, and specifically those in charge of the different districts, are meeting up. And the fact that this is like a really impromptu meeting leads you to believe that these are not just like the family heads, but specifically the district heads, which you are one of. Which means that you only need to get 4 people together rather than like 20. So this is something that is very quick and necessary, and it's something serious. How is Sergio feeling as he's rushing to this meeting?
Irritated. He's feeling irritated, processing what might have led to this, and also trying to think on why that, what would that pendant and that, well, who he calls the rat, would have tried to get from it, and how is this a correlation going to be related? How is this in correlation's going to respond? How is he going to try to respond to try to minimize the damage that could come to his district?
Okay.
But he's very irritated.
Yeah.
Because whenever a meeting happens between fucking multiple districts, it's gonna be, with this quick of a meeting, it's never good.
But yeah, you quickly make your way to the appropriate meeting place. You are ushered inside. You are run through the typical checks where they, do call and answer. You pass all the typical checks. Just like in every single corner, there's like a dwarf in like a suit with their arms crossed, looking very tough. But you are...
I'm standing over them.
Yeah. You are ushered inside where there is simply just a square room with 4 pedestals, and there are 3 other dwarves. And they turn to look at you with sour expressions. You're late.
Fucking shouldn't. It was very sudden. You ruined my morning. The fuck's going on here, huh?
You watch as Mogwin, the head of the Burrable district, kind of gives you a grimacing, but also a respectful nod, which you understand is in response for returning something to his as he steps up to the pedestal. And then the other 2 also take their places.
I'll approach my pedestal.
Durinel, the leader of the Miriam district, says, "So it seems to me that we have a rat in our midst."
It does.
Glimmers to everyone. Not the typical ruffians that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. There's a dwarf amongst us that is working with those elves up on the mountainside. And I am not pointing any fingers. I'm not gonna call anyone out. It could be anyone from any of our districts. It could be multiple people. It could be me. It could be you. It could even be...
Shotgun blast.
I was actually waiting for that. I was tempted to be like, throw my hammer.
You actually watch as he pauses, and like everyone is like has reaching for their weapons, and he glances around and he's like, "All right, interesting. So it's not one of us, since we're not tearing each other limb from limb right now. So that's a start.
So, let me ask you, how the fuck do you know about this rat? Where did this come up?
Durinel speaks up. Because someone stole something very important to me. Or, rather, let me speak more clearly. Something not important to me, but something important to someone that I took it from. Back in the civil war between the dwarves and elves, I stole this pin from a very specific commander that seems to still hold a grudge. Funny thing is you kind of need this pin to unlock some sort of treasury. Been holding on to it for safekeeping for, a rainy day, so to speak. When I'm feeling a little bit more antsy and want to take a bit more, but seems like someone else wants it more than we do.
Telling me that some sort of key you took off of some fucking sergeant general a fucking while ago. Then why are you telling us about it, huh?
I
Find
didn't
it more
know what it
suspicious?
meant when I took it from him. It was just some sort of badge that I ripped from his chest when I beat him in battle. Been holding on to it. Did some research on it. Eventually found out what it means and what it does. Apparently it's one of those pins that you can use to open a fancy lock or something. Deep magics. You know how elves are. So, without this pin, and he holds it up, and again everyone glares at each other, scanning to see if someone's gonna make a move. This pin, in a way, is a linchpin. Because whoever takes it was gonna get lynched. He stuffs it back in his pocket. Someone's trying to make a move. And I'd like to believe it's probably one of those elves or something. But I can't help shaking this feeling. Alright with your old bones. And you turn and look over at Johnny, leader of the Silica. We all know about your hunches and your intuition, but it's not what we're here for. We're here for hard, solid facts. Why, shut it. And he points a finger at you, Sergio. It's only thanks to this schmuck that we still got this thing. Alright?
Fucking welcome. Yeah, you're fucking rat. I had that rat walk through my fucking turf.
Damn right.
Fucking ran through here like a fucking banshee, claiming that it was stolen, but trying to give it back to somebody else.
He
Probably was a
grips his
fucking elf.
he grips his pedestal. We've been having rise. Everybody knows this. Crime, people looking to prove themselves. Ever since he who shall not be named died. And you know that he's referring to a member of one of the prestigious families in Elantra, one of the elven leaders. Go ahead and make a history check with advantage.
Let's see. First one is a 15. Second one is a 11 so 15.
15. let's see. The Cartwright family is the most significant family of the elves. When the industrialization came in, when they started making something out of nothing, when they actually started to benefit off of tourism and actually making shops and casinos and, making money on entertainment value rather than just trying to survive off of resources that were steadily depleting. The Cartwright family helped Rugton survive. So, for better or for worse, the dwarves are somewhat respectful and appreciative, but not necessarily indebted to the Cartwright family to help maintain Rugton as a society when resources were depleting. So there's always this balance between the dwarves and the elves, and the sort of balance and understanding that they both hate each other, but sort of understand that they need each other. Recently,
Your mic's full of snow.
anyways. Yeah, Sergio, I don't know why your mic keeps getting activated, but it's...
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Test.
Yeah, you're good now. The recent head of the Cartwright family, you don't know his name, was killed. And apparently he was killed in a hit, and everyone believes that it's during one of his visits to Muraim. I should just change the name of that one. That one's kind of dumb. On one of his business ventures to Muraim, he was killed, and ever since then there's kind of been an upset. Not because the elves believes that the dwarves are making a comeback, but because the head of the snake has been cut off. There have been other people that are slowly trying to make a rise in their own organizations or try to take, because such a significant figure is missing, even in, the criminal underworld, like, this is a significant figure that people are trying to take this as an opportunity. And so there's been,
Power vacuum.
Yes, exactly. Lots of little insurgents are rising up. People are starting to riot more. There's more crime. It's bad for business. And as wait, I forget who's who. Durinel is the head leader of Barabel, and Johnny runs Silica. I forget who runs Muraim.
You should probably write this down.
I did have it written down, but I didn't have them connect. Anyways, he claims that he did not put the hit out on the Cartwright family, and he even insists that dwarves were not involved. So whether or not you choose to believe him or not is up to you, but he believes that perhaps they're being framed.
He's a spy, blow him up. I'm gonna go take a shit.
Alright. But Durinel keeps explaining. Due to recent events, it seems like people are trying to make bigger and bigger scores. Strike, claim territories. But I heard got a new boss coming in. Some bastard of the Cartwright family. Different name and everything, but apparently he's actually son of the head of the Cartwright family. I don't know anything about this guy, but I had to put my gut on it. The other two groan. I think he might be our only chance at trying to figure this out.
Expecting us to trust some young son after the big head honcho passed off? How do we know this guy ain't no frickin' Twiddly spoiled brat?
I certainly hope he is. It's something we can use. We could squeeze him a bit. Tell him that, Rugton ain't like his pretty white town that he grew up with sparkling streets of gold. It's real out here.
We want to manipulate the kid.
We need to show him what Rugton's all about.
We want to send him a message?
He smirks. Yeah. What you thinking?
I think that we should definitely be loud and proud. Maybe a little show of muscle. Show them we mean business. Could do a little light scouting ahead. Maybe a possible kidnapping. Really just show them what we're made of. And show them we don't have to mean harm. But to show also that we run this fucking underground. And not to fuck with us.
I'm thinking the same thing, but as much as I want to talk to this guy face to face, I think we need to send him a different kind of message. Hit him where it really hurts. And he holds up.
Well,
the
what
pen.
about you two? You fucking stand quiet over there. Speak up.
Johnny just kind of crosses his arms and shakes his head. You're not as young as you used to be. You really think you can pull this kind of stuff anymore? Things are changing. Not the way it used to be.
You fucking calling me old?
He was talking to Durnell.
Oh.
Durnell's beard is like going down to his ankles.
Hey, fucking watch your tone. Alright? We ain't looking to fucking bashing each other. Now, if you got a better fucking idea, you better bring it up now.
Durnell speaks up again. You may not like it, may not be a good plan, but no action, no message is a message. You hear me? Can't just sit by and do nothing. Fact of the matter is, he's on his way here. If we don't do something, as they say, first impressions are important.
How about we do a little raiding party? And some of our boys rough up their men, steal some valuables. Then we'll casually apologize for any accidents that might have happened.
I've got a better idea. he says as he flips the pin in his hand. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.